Alright, what's up? So, a lot of atheists like to say that evolution disproves the Bible, and all these famous scientists are clearly atheists because the science doesn't prove the Bible. Yet, a lot of the scientists that they're referencing were devout Christians, like Gregory Mendel is a good example. But so, evolution doesn't prove the Bible wrong, and here's why. So, in order for evolution to prove that there is no God, it would have to be random. Yet several studies have found out that evolution is not random. So, for example, several sea creatures such as whales, dolphins, and other ancient creatures, they have similar features that are very effective for them, but they never came from a common ancestor. So they had separate but not equal, but like separate but equal evolution. But if evolution is random, how could they all have the same features? What are the chances that they all have the same features if evolution is random? And they didn't all come from the same animal, which makes that claim just plain wrong. And the researchers, they're like, okay, so there are all these separate evolutionary traits that all these animals have, but they don't come from a common ancestor, and there's no way that it's random. It's almost like there's some sort of guiding hand that's creating these evolutions, sort of like a god. Like God is using evolution. And another part of evolution is that the inferior animals will die off. Well, that idea is not contrary to the Bible, because in the Old Testament, a lot of people that did really bad things died. God took his vengeance on them for what they did. For example, the followers of Baal. What they would do is they would rape and murder kids, and they would destroy Israel and just massacre the Hebrew people, sacrifice, and were terrible. God told them to stop several times and gave them mercy, and they refused. So his followers cut them down to a man. But that's kind of what they get, and this story is repeated. God gives people a million chances, and they mess up every single time in the Old Testament, and they have to be taken out, which is the inferior people that aren't working or do bad have to go, which is kind of how Darwin's theory of evolution, or how the inferior animals have to go. So, evolution doesn't prove God is wrong. It proves that he's real.